The Israelites journeyed through the wilderness, a sea of sand, a relentless sun. They were led by a pillar of cloud by day, a pillar of fire by night, a constant reminder of God's presence. Their escape from Egypt was still fresh, the taste of freedom, the memory of the plagues, hope mixed with fear. They were free but vulnerable. Doubts crept in, murmurs arose. They questioned Moses. They questioned God. The wilderness tested their faith. It tested their resolve. The journey was arduous. Supplies dwindled. Water became scarce. The Israelites grew weary. They longed for a sign, a promise of something better. After weeks of wandering, they saw it, Mount Sinai, imposing, majestic, a beacon against the endless blue sky. Their journey's end, for now, a place of revelation, a place of covenant, a place where the divine would meet the human. A sense of awe washed over them, fear mixed with anticipation. They had never experienced anything like it. This was a holy place. They set up camp at the base of the mountain, a sea of tents, a community gathered, waiting, praying, preparing for the unknown. Then it began. Smoke billowed from the mountaintop, the earth trembled, lightning flashed across the sky, thunder echoed through the valleys, fear gripped the Israelites. They had never witnessed such power, such raw energy. This was the voice of God. Moses ascended the mountain. He was called by God to receive his divine law, to become the intermediary. The people waited below, anxious, terrified, but hopeful. They knew their destiny was being shaped. Section 4. Preparation for Holiness. Moses descended from the mountain. He carried the words of God, the 10 Commandments, a blueprint for living, a covenant between God and his people. But first, they had to prepare. They had to be sanctified, made holy, worthy of approaching God. They washed their clothes. They purified themselves. They set boundaries. They separated themselves from the ordinary. For 3 days, they prepared. The air crackled with anticipation. They were about to enter into a sacred agreement. Section 5. The Covenant of God. On the 3rd day, it happened. God descended onto Mount Sinai. The mountain was engulfed in fire and smoke. The sound was deafening. The people trembled. They fell to the ground. They hid their faces. They were in the presence of the Almighty. Moses read the 10 Commandments, God's law, his covenant, a promise of blessing for obedience, a warning of consequences for disobedience. The people listened, they understood, they agreed, they entered into a covenant with God, a covenant that would shape their destiny. Section 6. A Legacy of Faith. The events at Mount Sinai were a turning point. For the Israelites, for humanity, it was the establishment of a relationship between God and his chosen people. The story of Exodus teaches us about faith, about courage, about the power of God. It reminds us that God is present, even in the wilderness. We too are on a journey. We face challenges. We experience doubt, but we can find strength in the story of the Exodus, in the God who delivered his people. Let us remember Mount Sinai. Let us remember the covenant. Let us strive to live lives worthy of the God who called us out of darkness and into his marvelous light. If you enjoyed this journey through the Exodus, like, comment, and subscribe to continue exploring these transformative biblical moments.